Today, Nike is one of the most powerful brands on the planet. Its logo is recognized by billions of people. Every year, the company generates tens of billions of dollars. Athletes wear it. Celebrities promote it. Entire cultures were shaped around it. But few people know how close Nike came to disappearing forever. In the early 1980s, the company was falling apart. Sales were collapsing. Competitors were crushing them. Executives feared the worst. Some insiders believed Nike wouldn't survive the decade. Then, in the middle of the chaos, the company made one desperate gamble. A decision so risky that it could have either saved Nike or destroyed it completely. They placed their future on a young rookie that almost nobody fully believed in. A skinny basketball player from North Carolina. His name was Michael Jordan. And that single decision would eventually create one of the largest business empires in modern history. Long before Nike became a global empire, it was just an idea. In the 1960s, a young runner named Phil Knight believed the entire athletic shoe industry was broken. American sneakers were expensive, heavy, and poorly designed. Knight believed better shoes could exist. After graduating from Stanford, he traveled to Japan. There, he discovered a small company making lightweight running shoes. The brand was called Onitsuka Tiger. Knight convinced them to let him sell their shoes in America. Back home, he started selling sneakers from the trunk of his car at local track meets. No giant offices, no billion-dollar investors, no global empire, just one man trying to survive. Phil Knight soon partnered with his former running coach, Bill Bowerman. Bowerman was obsessed with one thing: making athletes faster. He constantly experimented with shoe designs, cutting prototypes apart, testing strange materials, searching for anything that could improve performance. He believed even a small difference in weight could change the outcome of a race. Bowerman treated running shoes like a scientist working in a laboratory. Most companies simply manufactured sneakers, but Bowerman wanted to reinvent them completely. One morning, while eating breakfast, he looked at his wife's waffle iron and suddenly had an idea. He wondered if the waffle pattern could create better traction for runners. So he poured rubber directly into the machine. The experiment destroyed the waffle iron, but it created something revolutionary. The unique sole design became one of Nike's earliest breakthroughs. Around the same time, the company needed a stronger identity. In 1971, Blue Ribbon Sports officially changed its name to Nike, named after the Greek goddess of victory. A graphic design student was paid just $35 to create the logo now known as the swoosh. At the time, nobody realized that tiny symbol would eventually become one of the most recognizable logos in human history. Obsessed with fitness, millions of people suddenly started running every morning. Parks filled with joggers. Marathons exploded in popularity, and Nike was perfectly positioned for the moment. Their shoes felt lighter, faster, and more modern than traditional athletic brands. Professional athletes began wearing Nike products during competitions. Sales exploded across the country. Every year, the company grew larger and more powerful. Factories expanded, new employees were hired, and the swoosh started appearing everywhere. On television, in magazines, inside stadiums. Nike was no longer just a small startup. It was becoming one of the fastest-growing companies in America. But behind the scenes, dangerous problems were growing. Nike expanded too quickly. The company borrowed huge amounts of money. Inventory piled up inside warehouses. And when growth finally slowed down, everything started breaking apart. Then the nightmare began. In the early 1980s, Nike suddenly lost momentum. Adidas remained powerful worldwide. But the biggest threat came from Reebok. Reebok understood where culture was moving. Aerobics became a massive trend across America. Fitness classes exploded in popularity. Bright colors, lifestyle branding. and fashionable sneakers suddenly became the future of the industry. Millions of women wanted athletic shoes that looked stylish outside the gym. Reebok moved quickly and dominated the movement. Nike was completely unprepared. The company focused too heavily on traditional sports performance while consumer culture was changing around them. Sales started falling. Warehouses filled with unsold products. Millions of dollars became trapped in inventory sitting on shelves. Retail stores started ordering fewer Nike products. Investors became nervous. Executives panicked behind closed doors. Inside headquarters, meetings became tense and emotional. Employees feared layoffs were coming. Some people inside the company believed Nike had already reached its peak. Banks slowly began losing confidence in the business. Financial pressure increased every single month. The company that once looked unstoppable suddenly appeared weak, vulnerable, and outdated. Competitors kept gaining market share while Nike struggled to respond. By 1984, the situation had become critical. Without a major breakthrough, the company risked collapse. Nike didn't just need a new product anymore. It needed something powerful enough to completely change its future.
Chapter 5: The Final Frontier.
Nike desperately needed a miracle. And then they noticed a young basketball player entering the NBA draft. Michael Jordan. At the time, Jordan was incredibly talented, but still unproven. Nobody knew he would become a global icon. In fact, many experts believed other players in the draft were safer investments. Jordan himself had little interest in Nike. He loved Adidas. That was his dream brand. Some reports say Jordan almost skipped the meeting with Nike entirely. But Nike executives saw something different. They didn't just see a basketball player. They saw charisma, confidence, competitiveness. They believed Jordan could become bigger than sports itself. So Nike prepared one of the boldest marketing offers the industry had ever seen. Instead of giving Jordan a normal endorsement deal, they offered him his own signature brand, Air Jordan. This idea sounded almost insane at the time. No athlete had ever been marketed like this before. Nike invested millions into the partnership. Designing custom sneakers, building marketing campaign, planning commercials around a rookie who had never played a single NBA game. If Jordan failed, Nike would lose enormous amounts of money. And the company was already under pressure. But Nike executives believed they had no choice. They needed a cultural phenomenon, something powerful enough to completely change the future of the company. And they were willing to risk everything to create it.